and the Wenatchee Wild have the 1-0 advantage. Flied in and clapped right through the legs of Anthony Wilson as the Wild get this one back, and we're going to see a fight. Dropping the gloves at center, it's Cumby and Henry. They throw the gloves well aside. Their gloves are down in the corner. There at center ice. Cumby, Henry, squaring up. Here we go. Just tied up. Left arm to left arm. Cumby rearing back, looking to send one away. Henry gets first with an uppercut that doesn't connect. Henry gets tied up. Cumby breaks free. The pad comes off. Henry gets a shot under the arm. Cumby coming over the top. Not a whole lot connecting. Now Cumby connecting. Henry coming back with a couple of lefts. Cumby over the top. Henry a couple of overcuts and over the top. Hammering away with right hands. Cumby maybe with a, or Henry rather, possibly. With the judge's decision, these two know each other pretty well. They raise the arms to the crowd and head off almost together. I get the feeling that was something they were looking forward to.
In and out of the lineup for the first couple of games and maybe only getting a couple of shifts. As Marcus Nguyen lowers his shoulder and a wrist shot is covered up by Palmer. Takes an extra whack after the whistle, and that draws the ire of the Tips. And they'll gang up on a Winterhawk behind the net. Helmets are strewn, gloves are off. Sticks into the ice, a hardcore wrestling match. Kyle McDonough in the center of it. McDonough has been mixing it up quite a bit in this evening's game. As Austin Roost will be shown the penalty box door. And we will sift through the remaining penalties as now Nguyen going right back at Cameron Seitzma. Seitzma, who picked up his first career fighting major last Friday in Victoria, albeit one where he didn't really land anything notable as he was going up against Ben Edwards.
Seconds tick away in the Raiders zone. Here's Schmidt. One last chance. Goes high up over top of the net. Oh, and then a hit at the end there as Pearden was drilled into the boards from behind. Well, that's just unnecessary. That's going to draw a huge crowd here.
It is going to draw a very big crowd and a lot of animosity, as that was not a hit that was needed at this juncture of the hockey game.
No, it wasn't. And looks like Pearden's okay, which is great news, but definitely looked like boarding from behind there, Marty. And Pearden's on his way to the bench under his own power, and we still got a bit of a scrum down there, but the penalty was coming, and the league might look at that one as well.
Well, they certainly will look at that one. I mean, the penalty was coming. It was a boarding call. It was a checking from behind. They ushered the player from Moose Jaw off the ice right away to get him out of harm's way, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, it's a road win for the Moose Jaw Warriors, and you can hear.
He went face first into the boards, and he's shaken up. He drops his stick, and he makes his way back to the bench. Up comes Johnson the other way, a shot that's covered up by Palmer. And Brown gingerly making his way back. Now Hamill will drop the gloves. He's trying to jump at Johnson. The linesman will step in. And boy, Caden Hamill had dropped his gloves and went diving over on top of Ron Dieterle trying to get to Nicholas Johnson. And the two of them will be ushered into the box before things get ugly. Well, Brown on the other end of the ice was crunched up against the wall. Hamill comes together with Johnson. The two of them exchange some blows, a little how do you do. And Johnson and Hamill still reaching over on top of the linesman there. And you see Nicholas Johnson imploring with the folks in stripes, saying he wanted to go, he wanted to dance.
Armstrong's after it. Fryer, we're going to have a scrap. Kinneberg is going to go up against Cameron Parr of the Chiefs. Kinneberg for Victoria now gets a hold. Parr looking away. Nobody's throwing a punch. There's a right by Kinneberg. Kinneberg trying for a second, trying to get his arm loose. Parr's just buying his time here with the jerseys at the scruff. Now Parr turns around and then hits him in the back of the head and then throws him to the ice. And this goes back to last night's Kinneberg hit, taking Berthelot out And Berthelot obviously not playing in the game tonight after that bone-rattling hit by Kinneberg. So he saw that might be coming as they're...
Save, rebound, somehow the Blades missed that one as Rhett Stoser makes the game's first big save. Rebels come the other way. Lind, left wing side, toe drag, shot, glove save made by Elliott. 4:31 into this first period. We get some pushing and shoving after the whistle. Sidorov and Uchas give each other a glare, but Rhett Stoser makes this game's first big save for Red Deer.
Yeah, he really did. Igor Sidorov found the late man coming on the backside. Number 29, Jordan Keller, and Stoser made a good save, and he made a real good save on the rebound as well.
Face off now.
Cagnoni flips it up for Zakreski, slips on by a defender. Zakreski to the net, and that's a pad save made by Palmer, and it hops up into his glove, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage in play. And now we get a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistles. Caden Brown and Zakreski in a wrestling match in the far corner. Taking a while for the bad blood to spill over between these two groups. Caden Brown has his helmet ripped off. And Brown will be escorted to the box. Zakreski will join him, I believe, after Zakreski too had his glove knocked out of his hands and his helmet off his lid. No, I believe I might be mistaken here as Zakreski is gliding back to the bench. They will send Kyle McDonough.
Cougars. Foster getting into it there with a blazer. He's wrapped up, and puck comes now ahead to Radke. Radke with it in the middle. Now touched up by Dowhennick. Some more pushing and shoving. Foster getting into it and wraps up a blazer. And we'll see if they take more than one. It's going to be Foster, though, for sure, who's going to go off. We'll see if there's more.
And there'll just be some roughing after that. Foster and Kelly exchanging pleasantries, but no fight. You know, one thing about me, I talked about, you know, the Cougars are being very aggressive on that last penalty kill. I know Kamloops got that late goal, power play to ruin the shutout, but Foster, it doesn't matter if it's 7-1, 1-1. He plays the...
Bad save made by Krause. Rebound chance. He's going to try to smother this one with Cheveldayoff in there digging ferociously, and that draws the ire of the Royals defender who goes after him and gets him against the back wall, and a wrestling match now ensues between the two. I'm trying to